This week on the show, great big steins of beer. The jazziest pensioner in Harlem. And how much will I get for this truffle I found?
Oh, that's got a whiff. Hi and welcome to the show. This week from Italy, where it's coming up to truffle season. And later on in the programme, I'll be heading off into the woods to make my fortune foraging for what they call diamonds in the dirt. First though, we're heading across Europe to the city of Munich in southern Germany.
The Oktoberfest beer festival is the biggest folk festival in the world. More than 6 million people arrived to celebrate last year. But in 2020, like so many other things, it's been called off. So we sent Christa to see if German drinkers are drowning their sorrows or raising a glass to a quieter autumn than usual.
For many locals here in Munich, Oktoberfest is the highlight of the year. So when the decision was made in April to cancel the event, locals decided to find a way to honour the festival.
Festivities aren't officially supposed to start for another hour and the crowd is building.
I've come to the Hofbrauhaus, one of the oldest beer halls in Munich. It's one of 50 local businesses throwing a quieter party this year. Oktoberfest has been taking place for more than 200 years. Some of its early rituals are still part of today's celebrations, like wearing lederhosen and a dress called the dirndl, and of course, this.
The first steins of beer poured. Now let the drinking and singing begin.
Although there are social distancing rules in place, it does seem pretty busy to me. Tobias Ratzinger is one of the organisers.
Tell me, what decisions have you taken to protect your guests from COVID?
We started to take the tables and chairs apart so people do not sit as close. And that means we cannot have as many visitors as we would like to have. Of course, we keep the distance, we have all kinds of hygiene measures. And what's a big difference right now, it's more quiet. We have the expression Gemütlichkeit. It's a little bit like cozy, quiet, you feel good, but it's not the wild party. We went back to the roots of the Oktoberfest. The Oktoberfest started, they had a wedding. The king married Therese. So at that time, there was nothing there. So the people went to celebrate the wedding of their king, but then they went back to the city, to Munich, to drink beer, to have food, and to celebrate in the restaurants. So what we do now, since there's no Oktoberfest, just like 1810, we celebrate in the restaurants.
Outside on the street, there's a definite party mood.
These are the famous horses who come to bring the ceremonial kegs for Oktoberfest. It's getting quite crowded.
But for those who take part in the festival every year, the atmosphere this time around is very different. Normally, there are millions of international guests, which makes it buzzy, bustling and very cosmopolitan. It's left this tour guide feeling a bit bereft.
What does Oktoberfest mean to you, and how did it feel to realise it wasn't going to happen this year?
It's the first time since I'm born that the Oktoberfest will not happen. It's like Christmas is not running. Your birthday is not running. You know, like Easter, the rabbit is not there. It's such deep in my heart and in my veins that I cannot compare it to anything else.
This year, Alex is offering the next best thing, a virtual experience of the Oktoberfest.
So what can we expect from this online escape?
So this should be very interactive. So it's not only that I talk, and you sleep in. So I'm starting with the history, which is very important. It's really brilliant. It gives you a little bit better idea. Then I start with, I show you some photos, some music, I would love to bring the spirit of the Oktoberfest, even if it's not working, to your house, to you, okay? To have, now it's empty, but it will be full later, so I can drink a beer with you. I will eat sausages with you, you know? I have a pretzel still in there. So all these things I want to have that you can actually enjoy it in these times, a little bit of the spirit. And probably you learn more about the Oktoberfest than you thought.
But if we're looking for a silver lining here, I mean, this online event means that Oktoberfest is truly accessible for everyone around the world. Not everyone can make it to Oktoberfest in person, yet now they can have an experience of it.
Correct. And therefore you can actually take all the information, all the live events, but I bring it to you, and you can do it with your family. You know, you build a little tent in your garden, you buy some beer, some pretzels, some white sausage, a lot of things, you dress like this, and you have your own Oktoberfest.
Since filming, Munich has further tightened its rules on mask wearing and social gatherings. But it seems that even the pandemic can't dampen the locals' love for Oktoberfest.
So how do you feel about COVID in this environment? Is it something you're worried about?
It's quite not a normal situation, but we try to keep distance to each other.
I think we care, but it's like not about us, it's about our grandparents. So if you wear your mask and you keep your distance and wash your hands, I think it's all right. But I don't want to go like to my grandparents in the next week or two, so they're safe.
COVID hasn't quite ruined Oktoberfest yet.
No, not at all. It's just different.
And for some, this quieter celebration is a welcome return to the festival's origins.
Oh ja, das ist viel anders. Das ist eine Spanne, das kann man gar nicht sagen. Das ist wieder das Original, wo es ja früher war. Da gab es Power, Power, Power und die Gäste waren voll drauf. Das ist alles anders, aber es geht auch. Ich finde, die Gäste haben wieder mehr Zeit, die kommunizieren besser. Es ist wie bei der Party.
It is a really lovely atmosphere here, and it makes me wonder if local people mightn't rather like going back to the old traditions rather than the kind of hectic Oktoberfest we've come to know.
We have 3,500 regular guests, local people from Munich, from the suburbs. And in the past years, some of these older people said, I will not go to the Oktoberfest because there's so much party, there's so many people. And this year, these people come happily to the Oktoberfest, but we still hope very much. We expect, we want the Oktoberfest next year, of course.
In a normal year, Oktoberfest goes through around 7 million litres of beer. It's served up by an army of waiters who can walk up to 20 kilometres a day.
Ah.
Traditionally, it's poured into glasses called steins, and you need a powerful arm to carry around.
So do you do weights at home, or do you do training?
No, we have training every day here. I started this work in 2003, and the first morning after my first day, I cannot brush my teeth because my arms don't do this.
I've been to Munich to the Hofbrauhaus and seen ladies like you with these amazing stacks of beers, and you make it look so easy that I feel like, oh, I should be able to do that. But I'm also aware that...
I think you can do this.
You think I can do it?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. If I can get an inch off the table, I'll be happy.
Put it to your...
Okay. Have to put it...
breast.
Put it... I can't do it.
Put it first to your breast and then you...
Okay, all right. One more try. I mean, I'm genuinely trying here. This is not... Yes! I got an inch off the table. Come on. That's the best I'm going to do, I think.
Perfect. You can start working here tomorrow.
I think I would have to seriously pump some iron before I considered that. But thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I mean, that's it for my career as a waitress here at the Hofbrauhaus. I think I'd be a disaster. I'll have to drink the beer instead.
Still to come. Meet Marjorie, the woman keeping parlour jazz alive in Harlem. And Italy's black gold. Will this fungus make me rich.
È un buon pezzo, comunque. Senti qui. That's got a whiff.
This week, I find myself in northern Italy. These are the back streets of Turin, and whilst I'm here, there's something I want to show you. Turin likes to see itself as being the capital of chocolate in Europe. And in fact, in the 1800s, Swiss chocolatiers used to come here to learn their trade. But what perhaps isn't known that much is that before we had the chocolate that we know now, the edible chocolate that we all eat, drinking chocolate was the real treat for the privileged elite from the 1700s onwards. And in fact, it's this cafe, Al Biccerin, which was the first establishment of its kind to be created in this city. And in fact, here it is. So you can see it here in the Biccerin glass, which is why it's named that. It's in 3 layers. On the top is milk, in the middle is chocolate, and on the bottom is coffee. Now, this is a secret recipe, they tell me. What I do know is that they spend hours back in the kitchen there making the chocolate. And over the centuries, we're talking artists, intellectuals, the real hoi polloi have come here and drunk this stuff. And today, it's a tourism magnet. Salute. Exquisite. Next this week, we're off to New York City in the first part of our series, meeting some of the characters we think really define the United States. And we're starting in Harlem with a pensioner who, before social distancing became a thing, spent her Sundays cramming the crowds into a front room for a feast of jazz.
I came to New York, the dream of being an actress. I always wanted to have my own theater, to have my own theater, write the plays, direct the plays. This apartment worked out to be ideal. I live in Harlem, New York. I have music and theater every Sunday. Jazz, 3:30. My doors are not locked. The public is invited in. People come from all sorts of places. They come as if they've known me forever, and we become instant family. There's a connection there. I moved to this apartment 36 years ago. This building was filled with musicians. We used to have readings here, would have rehearsals here, poetry nights here. I found that there was a vibrant theater movement in Harlem. But now it's every Sunday, a celebration. My son Philip passed away in 1992, August. I wanted to celebrate the anniversary. I went next door to Morris Jumel Mansion. I wanted to do a jazz concert, music outside. I needed to do it because Sundays were really difficult because he passed away on Sunday. I asked my friends to come. You gotta come, you gotta come. The word of mouth was very, very important, really critical to the way it started. And now I'm excited and getting a lot of young people who come to New York from all kinds of places, and it's a cheap date, no charge. I served food, but that's not, they didn't come for the food. They're really bringing something to you, this healing power of being together. They don't really know what they give me. It keeps me anchored. Sometimes when I play, I'll fight tears, but then I get a grip. There's joy in the music. The audience is really the most powerful piece of this because I feel they trust me and they celebrate with me. The celebration honors my children and it's exciting to me. The activity of getting it ready kind of holds me together. Somewhere there is a strength that I didn't know I had. We're connected by the music because music has its own language. People make the world go round, if you will, but we need each other. It's a moment where we can find peace, for this 2 hours that we're here. It's quite stunning, and I think, wow, how did all of this happen?
Marjorie, who's still going strong and hoping to restart her regular Sunday get-togethers in Harlem once the current restrictions are lifted.
I've come to a tiny town in northwest Italy called Alba, which is the truffle capital of the world. It's what's made this region famous everywhere. I'm about to have the signature dish. Grazie. Buongiorno. Oh, such a nice smell. So this is what the fuss is all about. It may be a fungus, but actually the aroma especially and the taste make it a real speciality. And sometimes the value of this can go sky high. And I am going to find out some more.
These fungi are famously fickle about their growing conditions. It's the perfect combination of elements in the hills of Italy that produce the flavour that is sought after. Pre-COVID, there was a growing demand for these truffles, and this led to a burgeoning tourism industry that's bringing people to this area.
Buongiorno.
I'm meeting a local truffle hunter who's willing to show people how to discover some of the easier finds.
What is it about this region that makes the truffles so good here?
Dicono così che la conformazione del terreno faccia sì che il tartufo arrivi a una profumazione eccellente, eccelsa.
Tell me how competitive it is between truffle hunters. How much rivalry is there?
E più che altro il trovarsi dopo la ricerca al bar e lo sfottò che c'è tra uno e l'altro. Io l'ho trovato più bello, io ne ho trovati di più, tu ne hai trovati di meno, ma non c'è che sia sta grande. Qui diciamo che è molto più tranquillo. Invece nelle zone, non faccio nomi, ma da altre parti la competitività è più accesa e c'è anche il rischio che avvelenino i cani, facciano morire i cani.
Do you, when you find a really good spot, do you keep it a secret? Do you tell anybody?
Non lo dico a nessuno, la mia zona è mia, neanche in famiglia, neanche la moglie.
No, nobody, you don't tell anyone?
But there are some areas that he is still willing to share.
No,
no good.
No good.
Over the past 25 years, there's been a 30% decrease in truffles due to the change in climate, and in some places, they're disappearing altogether.
There it is. Look at that. Whoa. It's good, yeah? Whoa.
L'ho rotto, vedi? Il cane. Dovevo fermarlo prima. Fosse bianco, sì. Il bianco, una raspata così, vale molto meno, ma il nero non c'è questo grande problema. È un buon pezzo, comunque. Senti qui.
That's got a whiff. Now, in addition to their rarity, truffles are perishable, so it's really important to get them harvested, processed and shipped as quickly as possible. And in fact, you can get a truffle leaving a forest like this and going anywhere around the world on a restaurant table within 36 hours. So I they'd better get it moving.
In Italy, to protect the trade and way of life for rural communities, the importation of truffles is strictly controlled. Here in Alba, the hunters come to town to the dealers who find buyers around the world. I'm going to see what I can get for mine.
You're Chiara.
Yes.
Buongiorno.
Hi, buongiorno.
Rajan, nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to
so
meet you.
this is the spiritual home of truffles, of truffle selling. Wow. I have got one here.
Let me see.
And I want to know how much it's worth. Could you tell me?
Yes, let me see. Ah, it's a good piece. It's small, but nice. Let me. So it's 20 grams. Today, more or less, 24 euro.
24 euros?
This piece.
Wow, that's good. I'm pleased.
It's good. You make a good job.
Thank you.
Bravo.
I believe the guy who started this shop is really responsible for the whole explosion of truffles.
Yes, Giacomo Morra, starting in the 50 years. He was a marketing genius before marketing was invented. He gave it for free every year the hugest truffle they could find to a VIP person, such as Marilyn Monroe, Truman, President Churchill, Hitchcock, many movie stars.
So, underneath this rug.
1, 2, 3.
Whoa! So that is truffle heaven. I didn't really make a fortune on my own specimen here, but still worth something to me. And I've got a real grasp of how valuable truffles are to this region and now to the world. That's all for this week, but join us next time when...
Addy takes us on a trip down memory lane from all four corners of the UK. From a vegan chow down in London to deep inside a freezing Scottish snow hole. Should be well worth a watch.
I can't believe we made it. Cheers, everyone. Woohoo!
So join us if you can. And don't forget, you can keep up with all our adventures by following us on social media. But in the meantime, from me and the rest of the Travel Show team here in northern Italy, it's goodbye.